Waiting. Okay. And the show's live. What's up, everybody? Post E3 conference. There's gonna be a lot to talk about today. We got a guest. Erica, ladies first. I want you to go ahead and do your intro.
Hey, Rev, thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. I don't know, I might be tag teaming with Baron a little bit today. This might be a little shocking. I don't know, but it's good to be here, and let's go ahead and get to it.
Okay, Blaze.
What up? It's your boy Blaze 4K. Let's get it going.
Baron.
What's going on, man?
Oh, okay. Vic.
I wasn't expecting that. What up, people?
All right, everybody. Let's start it out with the Xbox conference. If that's okay with everybody, we good with that? The Xbox conference.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Erica, let me get your thoughts on the Xbox conference, please.
Just as a whole,
As a whole.
yeah. I'm gonna be honest. After what they did with Gears, I pretty much checked out. I was pretty disappointed with the showing with Gears. I really thought they were going to show some campaign gameplay. They didn't. I was also looking forward to Ori release date. It's pushed to 2020, so that was a little bit of a hit as well. Just a lot of trailers, a lot of CGI, not enough gameplay throughout the entire thing. So when all that happened with Gears, I just checked out. I didn't even care. I was on Twitter. I didn't care about the new console. It was bad. I was pretty disappointed. And I know it's kind of dumb to put so much faith in Microsoft, but I think because Sony wasn't there, it was like more spotlight on them. So I expected them to bring it, and they didn't. In my opinion, they just didn't. So yeah, it was so bad. I was feeling so underwhelmed. I actually didn't watch any conferences until Nintendo. That's how much I checked out. So it's kind of crazy, but that's just my overall opinion. Just underwhelmed, unsatisfied, and I need more Gears. That's how I'm feeling.
All right, Baron, how about you?
Microsoft, right? Um, Honestly, Microsoft did pretty good. I think the issue was basically what we saw out of everybody else after them. It was a lot of good stuff. There was a lot of good news, got a lot of good announcements, but it was just piss poor execution. It was just executed very poorly. I don't understand why Gears gets a release date of September and then you come out there and you really don't show us any gameplay. We already seen the cinematic stuff already. I mean, you literally went out, paid WWE superstars to come on your stage, have the game loaded up in the back in front of a TV, and y'all don't play it. I've never seen that in my life. Like I don't even know what that's about. But they had some good stuff. They even took a page out of Nintendo's book. They launching their new system with their biggest franchise, and I think people are really underselling that by a huge margin. Like they're launching their system with Halo. I think the last time that happened was the original Xbox, and Halo has grown significantly since then. So I think that's a big plus for them. So I can't really talk about the specs part because we don't know what it's in the PS5 yet. So outside of that, I think they just sold a lot of games, and they put that message forward, but they executed it just poorly, man. You just can't. Some of the stuff you just have to show gameplay on, and Gears was definitely that one thing. Like I just did not understand it.
What were
But
some good?
overall, it
What
was
were
good.
some good announcements? You said there were good announcements. Like what?
Scarlett coming holiday 2020. That's good.
Outside of that, as far as games go.
As far as games go, I think
Yeah,
Halo
games.
getting a release window like that is very good. I
Listen,
wasn't expecting Halo getting a release
The
window like
highlight
that.
of the
I really
show was
wasn't.
Cyberpunk, and that's the bottom line. That was the highlight of the show.
Cyberpunk was good too, but Cyberpunk had the same thing. It's like cinematic's great. I like the atmosphere, I like the concept, body modification and all that. But we need to see the game. Can we see the game?
Yeah, but they
That was the
showed
problem. Like, they had the stuff. They just didn't have the gameplay to go with it. That's what
right,
the problem.
but they had an hour of gameplay last E3, so they figured they'd show off Keanu Reeves. But look, they had, like you said, Baron. I agree. They had certain highlights of the show. There were certain great, like for me, for me, Scarlett saying 2020 is crazy. Like, I was not expecting 2020 as much as, you know, all the rumors were there. 2020 is like, it's coming. But the other thing about 2020, every single game was 2020 CGI 2020 CGI 2020, and I just thought people that were there, they want to see the heavy hitters. They get Halo, they show no gameplay. Although that CGI was cool, it got me pumped up. I wanted to see gameplay. Well, it's for the new Xbox. Okay, we'll play it on the PC. Then Gears of War, man, that was very disappointed. Again, everybody's gonna have the same. They're gonna sound like a broken record here, but it's true. Gears of War is your big hitter. There's a lot of controversy going around with the game. People wanted to see gameplay, and they do show gameplay, but it's for some different mode, and it just looks sloppy. Like, you know, it looks very sloppy. And at the end of the day, you know, they bring out these celebrities to try to, you know, and it was cool, but you know, it rubbed me the wrong way. It just, the whole conference, I feel like they had the floor. The spotlight was, I tweeted to people, I said, yo, Microsoft is gonna kill everybody, just wait and see, because they had everything going for them. They had the whole floor, everything, all the attention was on Microsoft, and I just felt like they could have went way harder. And if, you know, Ninja Theory was the biggest disappointment for me, because I mean, I was like, okay, what are they going to bring? They show this single player game, and then they come out with this Borderlands Overwatch battle.
Well, that's where we differ at, because I don't know why everybody has this Miss Cleo concept about themselves, where they know the future and they know what these companies are going to do, and they know what these developers are going to do. They came out there, I think they even did an interview after E3. They came out there and said this is the game they was working on before they got acquired by Microsoft. So you got to give Microsoft credit for letting them continue to do the work that they wanted to do. Regardless, I don't understand if that's what Ninja Theory wanted to make, and Microsoft bought them and Microsoft funded them to let them finish that project. You can't hate on that. And what they showed, it doesn't look bad. I just need to see more gameplay of it so I can get a better concept of what's going on. It ain't like what they revealed was just terrible. And I'm tired of people trying to downplay that. It's
are we talking about Bleeding Edge right now?
Yeah, Bleeding Edge. Yeah.
You're saying that looked good?
From the simple I've seen, yeah. I have not seen no gameplay.
What about that
that's
look
the
good?
point.
Those characters look good to you, Baron?
That art style, that concept, that art style and concept is fine with me. I don't see the problem.
It's not the art style.
Fine is fine. What does fine mean? That's what I tell a girl when I don't think she looks very good. You look fine.
No. What I'm saying is, look fine is that you got me interested, but I need to see more before I bite on it. That's what I mean by that. It's like I need to see more. That's what the problem was. I did not see gameplay to bring me in to let me see more. But I don't like y'all people just downplaying Ninja Theory like Microsoft made them do this. No, this is what they was working.
Well, I never said Microsoft made them do anything. But if I wasn't aware of that. If that's what they were already building upon, fine. I mean, fine. But even then, it's still I'm expecting, when I see Ninja Theory, they made single player experiences. I wasn't expecting. Not to say they can't do something different, but I didn't expect that. They went from a beautiful game and like just high fidelity, all this, it was just beautiful, and then they go to something totally different, which is okay, but that game just did not look like, it just looked like they copied a bunch of other shit, honestly.
Hey, let's get Vic's thoughts on the Xbox conference. Vic, where you at, man?
I think I'm in the minority. I thought they did enough to win E3, really.
How so?
Between Microsoft Flight Simulator, the State of Decay 2 DLC, and honestly, I think the game of the conference, Way to the Woods, aka the Bambi Simulator, I thought they did really well.
Okay, it's trolling now.
You're trolling right now?
Yeah, of course.
Funny guy.
No, I'm just kidding.
That was good.
Honestly, I thought there was no way they could mess this up this year. Sony wasn't there to put their foot on their neck. They had everything to themselves. And they had some heavy hitters to show, and they didn't show them. I thought it was a poorly done conference, man. I thought there was no way they could mess it up, and they did. Gears 5, they showed less footage of the game this year than they did last year. They gave Gears Pop more gameplay than Gears 5. All of the best parts of their conference were third-party games I can play on PlayStation. Like they didn't give me any incentive to buy an Xbox. And the reason why this was it Project Scarlett didn't hit like this Project Scorpio did is because they're too close together, and we've already seen what they've done with the power. Like I can play Snake Pass for 4K 60 frames, that's cool, but like they're not catering to their core audience the way the other companies do, and I think that's where their biggest failures are at. Because I don't really like Nintendo, but I thought everything they did in their conference was.
And now Project Scorpio was 3 years ago at this point, right?
Yeah, and that's still super short in between
It is.
console releases. So it's like, okay, you're showing us another more powerful console. This console eats monsters for breakfast type of stuff that they were saying before. It's like it doesn't hit the same, dude. Like you didn't show any Halo. It's cool that Halo's launching with the Scarlett. I thought that was a great move on their part. They need some system sellers to drop with the system itself. But that was a horrible conference. Like that's the worst Xbox conference I think I can remember for a long time.
Oh my goodness.
All right, look, let's wake up the podcast here. Erica, talk to me about the Nintendo conference. Now, keep in mind, I didn't watch it, okay? And I think you know why. Okay, so talk to me about this conference. I understand you were a fan.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like Vic said, Microsoft did a bad job of catering to their audience, but Nintendo actually really did. There was something for everyone. Myself personally, I don't really like Smash or Pokemon, but there were other games that made up for it. Because usually I'm the one complaining about these directs because I feel like there's not enough that I'm interested in. It's just always about one specific game and they kind of forget others. But this one, they actually kind of gave a bunch of different games. Like you have Zelda in there, you got Link's Awakening, which people are really hyped for, myself included. Well, I don't know about hyped is the right word, but I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, they ended the show with letting us know that the next sequel to Breath of the Wild is in development. So, of course, that got people hyped. So for me, it was like, okay, I love Zelda, so I got that. Luigi's Mansion does not have a specific release date, which I was a little disappointed with, but it's still coming out this year. Panzer Dragoon was in there, which I don't know if you guys played that back in the day. That was like a huge game for me growing up. So I loved that game on the Saturn. So like these games to me were enough to get me excited. And honestly, like after the hype kind of died down and I left Nintendo Church because I kept tweeting like I'm in the Church of Nintendo right now because I was feeling it. When I kind of relaxed a little bit,
Wait, Erica, I don't want to cut you off. You said Nintendo Church. You do know Sony's God, not Nintendo. Go ahead.
All right, but no, when I calmed down a little bit and kind of took a step back, I think honestly this E3 was just so disappointing that maybe my hype was a little much because it's like, okay, now we're seeing some gameplay. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I got excited because it felt good to be excited about games again. I was feeling down until that point. I was feeling like, man, I'm not feeling this E3 at all. And so Nintendo turned it around enough to where I was like happy again. I was happy to be a gamer again. So I enjoyed it. I know, Rev, you said you didn't watch it, but like I said, they catered to the fans. And everybody who is a Nintendo fan, I think they all have something to be excited about. So yeah, I thought they did a good job. Good pacing as well.
Okay, Baron, snap into character, baby. Where you at?
That's not character.
Look, man. Just gonna be straight up honest with it. Erica gave the PG version. I'm finna give you the rated R. So Nintendo completely just destroyed everybody that showed up to E3 this year. Sony was smart to not show up because there's no way they was going to compete with what Nintendo did this year. It was impossible. So they were smart in not showing up because everybody else got their ass whooped by Nintendo. It's just facts at this point. You know what I mean? And then when they started the Direct, they started with Smash. Like Erica said, it was such a wide variety of games. It really blew your mind. And when the president came out there and he said something that stuck with me before he went on with the rest of the Direct, he said, what you're going to see today is show you that this Nintendo Switch is for everyone, for every gamer, and for every genre. And that stuck with me, and they absolutely delivered on that message. That's the first time I ever seen a corporate guy get on that stage or get into front of a video at E3 and give a statement and then actually follow it up after that fact. Because when you look at it, it's like Nintendo Switch has so many heavy hitters, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Their lineup is absolutely outstanding. Like Erica said, Link's Awakening probably is not your thing, but that's what people want to see. A sequel to the Game of the Generation and Breath of the Wild is absolutely amazing. It's something that we really thought that wasn't going to happen. You got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 absolutely taking the shit on that Square Enix Avenger game. It's just ridiculous. You got a game like Astral Chain developed by Platinum Games, which looks like it's going to be the game of the year of this year. We turned around, and then the shocker, which is not really a shocker, Witcher 3 ends up on the Switch. You got another new IP in Daemon X Machina, which looks absolutely phenomenal. And people got, other games came out that people want. I don't care for Animal Crossing. I hate Animal Crossing, but people wanted to have that. Smash is one of my favorite fighters, but I didn't really care for the characters they put in. But fans,
Jesus Christ!
What?
You're killing me. Go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
Okay. Did your company show up or not?
Bro, my company's with their feet up.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You used to having 3 games at E3, and you should be done talking by now. But when you show this many damn games, you got to explain it all. And one of the biggest shockers of them all, No More Heroes 3 being announced in exclusive Nintendo Switch.
I'm laughing at Baron's response to you. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that's the thing, We went from E3's irrelevant to every Sony PS4 on the planet damage controlling everything that happened at E3. If it was irrelevant, y'all shouldn't have paid attention to nothing that went on this week. But you was there every day damage controlling for shit that was announced because you're salty. You salty and you're sorry. And you're mad that your PS4 is gonna be dry as fuck for the rest of the goddamn year, and you mad about it.
What say you, Blaze? Your response, Blaze.
Listen, Luigi, you said we got some heavy hitters.
I didn't even name Luigi's Mansion. Did I name Luigi's Mansion?
You did. Yeah.
No, I did not.
You did. But anyway, those games are heavy hitters if you're a Nintendo fan. Absolutely.
No, those games are heavy hitters if you are a gamer. Period. Bottom line, if a game is rated T for teen or rated M for mature, I don't know how you're trying to pigeonhole it into a Nintendo gamer. That's for gamers, period.
So what's rated M for mature?
The Witcher? Right?
Wow. You see what I'm saying?
The Witcher. Okay, wow. They released The Witcher at 280p. Sub 30.
No, it's not 280p. But that's besides the fact. The fact
is, it's 540p.
The fact is, y'all complained about Switch not having games like The Witcher 3, Switch not having games like Wolfenstein Youngblood, Switch not having games like Doom Eternal. And when these games show up, then you want to find another damn excuse.
Look,
that's the damn problem.
Let me be real with you. Luigi's Mansion, I played the shit of on the GameCube growing up. I really did. I'm not gonna lie to you. But right. I'm just saying, look, I'm not mad that honestly, Nintendo, good for them that they get in third-party support. They need that. Like, that's not a bad thing. More releases coming to the Switch is not a bad thing. I'm really not trying to be totally outrageous with you. It's a good thing, and I'm glad these games. Dude, you see how many Switch games I got? I got more Switch games than you. I like those little. Dude, there's something appealing. Listen, Baron, there's something appealing to me to have like a game like Dark Souls on a tiny little cart. Is appealing to me. I'll have this little cart, and I'm playing this massive game on this tiny little cart. So that's appealing to me. I like that, and I'm all digital this year. But the Switch, I continue to buy physical because it's that nostalgic Nintendo kicking in. But at the same time, to say they destroyed everybody, and thank God Sony didn't show up.
They did. All the games they showed gameplay. All of them looked fucking phenomenal. All of them got release dates. What else are you going to ask for?
No, they destroyed Microsoft. I mean,
no, they destroyed everybody. Period. Everybody that came out and did their conference, either they was dancing on stage to Just Dance, trying to charge you $15 fucking a month for a damn subscription service, or turning around trying to make you buy into Fallout 76 after it was fucking trash.
Honestly, the
It didn't show you no gameplay.
You're right, Baron. Honestly.
The only thing that was great, and I'm being straight up honest with you, the only thing that was great was Final Fantasy VII Remake. The gameplay they showed for that was absolutely phenomenal.
That was Square Enix,
The new tactical system is absolutely phenomenal. That was the only highlight outside of the Nintendo Direct. Period.
Okay. And honestly though, this E3, I'm not saying, look, maybe they did destroy, but honestly, you can probably go down the line. This was looked at as one of the worst E3s, period. Not just Microsoft, period. All of them were horrible. Okay. So, I mean, it's not saying much, Baron. Really, this was a horrible E3 for every single developer.
That's not my problem. That's not Nintendo's problem if other people don't show up and bring their A game. That's not their fault.
That's true. That's true.
That's really not their fault.
That is true.
So you saying they won by default, Blaze? Is that what you're saying?
He's trying to play that, but he got to understand that the amount of stuff they had, they would have won regardless.
They got a lot of content coming. They do. But I mean,
was that the end of your summary, Baron? Did you say everything you wanted to say about Nintendo? Out of curiosity.
No, I just got one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
The amount of exclusive content, because that's what it's supposed to be about, right? The amount of exclusive content, quality exclusive content, not content that you hope is good and turn out trash like Days Gone. I'm talking about quality content. You know what I mean?
Right.
The amount of quality content that Nintendo has set up starting the end of this month all the way into 2020 and beyond is unmatched.
Okay, and Breath of the Wild, by the way, Breath of the Wild 2, you're all like, oh my God, we weren't expecting that. How were you not expecting that? Breath of the Wild was a Wii U port, meaning it was already being developed at plenty of time. So of course they're gonna they have all this time now. The game was already made.
We usually get one Zelda game per console. That's why we wasn't expecting that, especially after all the expansion passes they did after.
And it is a massive game. It is a massive game to get a second one. I mean, it is what it is. You're right. But Days Gone wasn't trash. You got to stop with that.
No, Days Gone was trash. I'm not letting y'all breathe this year. I'm not letting y'all PS4 breathe. Days Gone was trash. Now pray for Death Stranding.
Oof. Well, speaking of that, Rev, we got to talk about that too.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We will definitely get to that. Blaze, is that all you want to say about the Nintendo conference?
Let my man Vic go.
Go ahead, Vic. I know you watched it. You actually watched the conference, and you're not interested in Nintendo, so it'll be interesting to get your perspective on this.
Yeah, and I got to ask Vic about that when he done it.
I think my answer is probably going to be a little surprising. I thought E3 overall was pretty mediocre across the board, but if we're judging the conferences based on, these companies only make content based on their core audiences. So if we're judging it on that, I thought Nintendo won E3. It didn't appeal to me much. Most of the games they showed were games in my head where I was like, yeah, I would have liked to play that when I was younger, kind of thing. But they did have some games that did stand out. I thought Astral Chain looked pretty dope. I could imagine playing that on PlayStation 4. They're getting a game that only PC is getting from Devolver Digital called My Friend Pedro that looked pretty cool. And then they had a top-down, like, old-time gangster game called Empire of Sin that looked pretty cool. Everything else wasn't for me, but I thought based on the fact that they had a large category of games just back to back to back, a lot of them had release dates, a lot of them had gameplay. I thought just from a conference standpoint that they won E3. They had the best conference at E3.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Baron, what did you want to ask him about?
Oh, my bad. He pretty much answered it in that. Because he was talking about it early on Twitter, and I was like, that just didn't make any sense.
He had an issue with me saying that Nintendo didn't save E3 if you're not into Nintendo games. But I still stand by that, because if you go by the inverse of that, say Nintendo didn't show up this year, right? Hypothetically, and then PlayStation showed a bunch of games that you're not into, would that have saved E3 for you?
But that's where your perception is wrong.
Okay, explain it.
Because we already talked about, like, in this direct, they had such a broad scope of games. How do you pigeonhole that into what you said on Twitter? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it did.
So
They
I mean,
didn't save E3 for me. I thought E3 was bad. So how does that not make sense?
no, you said they didn't save E3 unless you was into Nintendo games.
Yeah.
There were way more games in here besides Nintendo games.
Baron, where was
That's what
Bayonetta
killed
3?
me.
Yeah, but nobody wants
Bay-
to play. But no one wants to play Witcher 3 at 540p undocked, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Look, that's
For
up to
price.
that's your opinion. That's up to your interpretation.
And that's what
also
that tweet was. That tweet was my opinion. I don't think if you did not like Nintendo games,
but that's
Nintendo
not a Nintendo
Treehouse-
game. You said The Witcher 3. That's not a Nintendo game.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo
So you
did not.
you can't pigeonhole it and say if you didn't like Nintendo games, you wouldn't have liked Nintendo E3 because it was way more than Nintendo games. Way more than that.
Okay.
What is it you're saying here, Baron?
Yeah, I think you're trying.
You're
to put
losing
this on
me.
like
Yeah,
some
you're
kind
losing
of
me.
technicality.
No, it's not a
did-
technicality.
Okay.
It's the fact that
Would you like me to
people tried to
extend?
down. No, I'm gonna explain what I'm saying. I don't like when people tried to downplay the actuality of what's being presented to them. They presented to you that Switch is not just Nintendo games from Nintendo first party. Switch has other things on it. So if you come out and say, "Oh, you're not gonna like Nintendo E3 only if you like Nintendo, if you only like Nintendo games,"
No,
like
I said they didn't.
that's
save-
really
they
not
didn't-
true at
I
all.
said Nintendo didn't save E3. If you weren't into Nintendo games, it didn't save E3 because no
So
one.
you insinuating that they only saved E3 if you was into Nintendo games. That's
Yes.
what you're insinuating.
Yes,
which is
because
false.
no one.
How can that be false, Baron?
No one.
That's false
I know
because they
is buying the
highlighted
Switch.
games that are not from Nintendo.
Yeah,
but
but I mean,
no one-
every console does that, bro.
But why would people be hyped to buy the inferior version of third-party games?
When-
Exactly.
But that's
Because
the thing.
Because it's portable. Nothing
that's
about
the-
that made me want to buy a Switch.
Listen. That's the thing. That's the thing. See, y'all have this thing where y'all have this mindset of an inferior version. Your example of inferior version doesn't apply to the rest of the world.
Does it
I think
apply to the
y'all
rest
don't
of the world,
understand
or
that.
does it apply to you?
540.
No, the rest of the world. Because
do
if
you
we're going to
figure?
be honest, everybody needs to buy every multiplat on PC then. Why are people still buying multiplats on PS4 and the base Xbox One?
Well, that's not real fair because consoles are much more convenient than PC.
Right.
Okay, so
Mhm.
exactly. That's my point.
So you're saying
people wanna
because it's
buy it on
more
Switch.
convenient for you to play on the go, then they should buy the Switch version, which is more expensive and runs worse than their console counterparts.
Looks worse and it's more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah.
expensive, Baron.
I bought the
If it were cheaper, maybe you'd have an argument. But these games are more expensive, and your only argument is because it's portable.
And that game's gonna come
That's
out at
not-
$60. But
That's
let's believe
not.
it.
No, look, I'm not finna argue about the Witcher price point. I'm talking about the fact that every time when it comes to the Switch, everybody wants to bring up the PC version. But if it was always about playing at the best optimal performance every time, everybody will buy the game on PC. But people
No.
don't do that.
No,
Yeah,
the
because
people
not a
don't
lot
do
of
that.
people
Hey,
have PCs.
the Xbox
That's
360
exactly
version of
my
Skyrim
point.
runs better than the Switch version.
That's
They might-
exactly my point. I
they
think
might-
y'all really overanalyze this frame rate and resolution thing.
Yes, but you know what?
Yes, it does matter. It does matter. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It matters significantly. But if something is absolutely playable and enjoyable, people are going to buy it. This is why Mortal Kombat 11 sold so many damn copies on the Switch. That's why it sold like hotcakes. It's because people wanted to have that option to buy it on the Switch, and people have been doing that with third-party games for the last year. So all this like, oh, why would I do this? Well, that's you. That's you. You should buy the
Erica.
PHC version every time. Go ahead, Erica.
What were you trying to say, Erica?
No, I was just gonna say, from what I'm seeing, especially when it comes to the Witcher, people bring up PC because of the price. Like you can get these games much cheaper on PC, and so that usually comes up when we're talking about these ports. But I actually agree with Vic because even when I was talking about Nintendo, what did I talk about? I talked about Nintendo games for the most part. I think Panzer Dragoon was like exclusive, but it's like that's like maybe the only one. But that's what it is. People, if they like Nintendo games, they're gonna really love this Direct and what Nintendo brought to E3. I could understand where Vic's coming from because if he's not interested in those games, there's no reason for him in his mind to want a Switch because he can play those.
That's all I said. All I said
Yeah,
was
that's what he said.
if you're not into Nintendo games, Nintendo's E3 didn't save E3 for you because it didn't save it for me. I thought the whole A3 was very average. That's all I was saying, bro. I wasn't even taking a dig at Nintendo. I thought they had, for their core audience, the best conference, but that didn't save E3 for me personally.
Right. If it don't appeal to that person, then it's irrelevant to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to comment on the price thing, I agree with Eric on the price thing. That's been something that's been debated for a while with the tax. Regardless if the reason they're hiking some of these ports up is because of the price of the carts, but they still need to get that sorted out. So I'm not an advocate defending the price.
Right. And even the cart thing, I know, and that is true, and it is true. But at the end of the day, that's not my problem. Like, you know, it's not my problem that, you know what I mean? You
That's
went with
exactly
carts.
what I'm saying. I don't agree.
What? How old's The Witcher? When did The Witcher come out? When was it? 2014? What was it?
2015.
15?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I'll tell you, I'll be straight up with you, Baron. I want to see the game running because to me, I think whoever's doing this port, if it is CD Projekt Red themselves, dude, there's some like wizardry going on because I don't know how the fuck they're gonna get The Witcher 3 running on the Switch. It's crazy. I got to give them props for that. To me, that's crazy.
It's really not crazy to me.
It is.
It's not really.
Bro, my flip phone can outperform the fucking Switch, dude.
if you say so. So far, y'all been wrong about that. I don't know what else is going to take. I mean, people take their own personal opinions over what developers say these days. So I don't know what else to tell you.
Let's move on.
Hey, Baron, would you agree that the Switch is a supplemental console?
Absolutely not.
No, you think it's good as a primary console?
Absolutely. Brad, you just came here. Was it last week? You talked about exclusive content, right?
Mm-hmm.
That should make you purchase your content. Hands down, Nintendo has the best exclusive content.
Okay.
Yes, but if it don't appeal to him.
So listen, no. He made a good point. He said exclusive content. Absolutely right. So isn't it fair to say that most people who have a PS4 have an Xbox will buy a Switch simply for the exclusives? For what reason would they touch a third-party game other than somebody like you, Baron, who travels? If somebody primarily games in the living room, why in the hell are you going to play the inferior version, which costs more, on the Switch?
That depends.
You know what I mean? If you have both consoles,
that really
depends. What is it?
I mean, it really depends because for you, example, like you're not a person. You're a living room person. Like that's not going to matter to you. For me, shoot, how many multiplats? 90% of the multiplats I brought has been on Switch. I have like a couple on 360, not 360, but Xbox One. If it's on Switch, I'm going to get it on Switch because I always like that idea of, man, if I'm in a crunch, I could just take it with me. I always like that idea. You know what I mean? So I've been buying NBA 2K on the Switch, has been absolutely phenomenal on the Switch.
But your lifestyle fits that. You know what I mean, Baron?
That fits your mold, Baron. You're on the go.
Right.
I travel. Given what you do, you got a lot of traveling to do.
But here's the thing: I also play these games docked as well. It ain't just like, oh, I just exclusively play handheld. No, I play these games docked as well.
So why are you playing them docked for more expensive when you have a console that'll play them better for less? Explain that to me.
For less?
For less money.
Dude,
I just looked at my son's birthday is coming up. I went into the little your little Nintendo shop. I go into their deals. Their idea of a deal is $30.
Yeah, you know what? Nintendo never puts their games on fucking sale.
What? Okay, what exactly are you talking about here? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, Doom right now.
Doom. Okay,
on Switch is $30 freaking dollars, dude.
Yes,
on
it is.
Switch.
Yes, it is, and it should not be. When it comes to these old multiplats and these old ports, they should not be more. I agree with you on that.
You know, but whatever.
This was in the deal section, is what I'm telling you. This is on sale. It's $30.
Right.
I'm telling you, I've been saying it myself. They should not be costing more on the Switch for these old ass multiplats. I've said that. But the games I gave you are the games that came out day and date.
Okay, so if they shouldn't be that price, why are you playing them docked when you have a PS4 that'll play them better and cheaper? or an Xbox, it'll play better and cheaper.
I don't understand how is it cheaper if it's coming out the same day.
It's not. The Witcher 3 came out.
I'm not talking about
No. He's not
that.
talking about
I'm
that. So
talking
you're
about-
saying if a third-party game comes out and it's $60 on the Switch and it's $60 on your Xbox, you choose to get it on the Switch.
Yeah, I'll get it on the
Okay,
Switch.
so my question to you at this point would be, why when it performs worse?
It depends on what your interpretation of a performance worse is.
So
Like,
see, your main factor with the Switch is going to be portability. It's got to be, because that's got to be the only reason. Yes, you can play it in docked, but you always have that option to pull it out of the dock and take it on the go with you.
Yeah.
And it's got your save,
I-
right?
Yeah, I always have that option.
But okay,
Okay.
they can't control third party, Rev. But even like first party, they need to be more lenient on these deals, dude. Zelda is a great game. It's absolutely a great game. But why is it still $55?
What is that
$60?
Mario game?
You
what's that popular Mario game?
You ain't gonna never let that go, Blaze. are
I'm
you?
not because okay. And then, dude, what about the cards? The cards are expensive. Okay, so what excuse do you have for digital versions of the game?
This has nothing to do with cards, bro. See, you mixing two things together.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. We was talking about third parties and how they're hiking switch third party games because of the price of the cards. You're talking about why does Nintendo games still cost $60 damn 3 years after
No,
release?
because I said they
That's
can't
what you're
control third party, but when it comes to first party, why can't they control the prices? Why can't they be lenient on their prices?
On what prices are you talking about? First party titles?
All their first party titles are overpriced. What the fuck
That's
do you
what
mean?
I'm saying. You're talking about two damn different discussions.
No,
here.
okay, and like give me another. I'm gonna give you another.
Card prices had nothing to do with Nintendo first party titles. Nintendo is going to continue to sell their first party titles at $60 damn because they continue to sell at $60 damn.
Even though they're
That's
10
just
years
simple-
old.
Hey, Blaze, that's
just
what it is,
simple thing.
because you have to buy a Switch just to get those games.
Okay,
Why did
you
I buy
have
a
to buy a
Switch?
PlayStation
I bought
4.
a Switch for Zelda.
Okay, and you have to have a PlayStation 4 to play Uncharted, but they're still $20 games right now. Greatest hits.
Okay.
Blaze, man, Blaze.
No,
Blaze.
don't blaze me, you Nintendo.
Whoa.
Blaze, you acting damn fool. It's a simple concept, Blaze. This is a simple concept, but like how I can go into any GameStop right now,
Go ahead.
and if I try to turn in or trade in any Pokemon game or Smash game, do you know how much I would get for it? Do you know the value of that damn game?
Yeah, $30.
Nintendo games hold more value
$30
than your Sony games. You don't want to hear that, but that's just the fact.
No, the
People
fact
continue to
is,
buy this stuff, and that's why it holds that value so high.
I agree with that. People continue to buy it.
I'm indifferent on it. Like after a certain threshold, you should at least, make a greatest hit line for a little bit of discount. But then I look at it from Nintendo's side. It's like, if they keep buying it at 60, why am I going to discount it? It keeps the value high of that title. And when we look at the sales charts, what do we still see? We still see Breath of the Wild in the top 20. That game came out in 2017. We still see it to this day as a top 20 best-selling game.
You get trade value. You get trade value for Zelda Breath of the Wild because it's still selling for $60. So of course they're gonna say, look, this game costs $60. Why am I getting 20 cents for it? Of course they're gonna get good trade value if the games are still expensive. You get what I'm saying?
If the game holds its value, there's nothing you can do about it.
What hold its this ain't no this ain't a Ferrari that it holds its value. We're talking about a piece of trash printed on a car.
Look, that's your interpretation of it. I'm just giving you the simple damn answer. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Baron, do you think
I can literally go get a game from 2 generations ago, try to turn it in a GameStop, and I could probably get $30+ for it because the game still has a high value.
Yeah, they still sell it for a lot. Like there's 3DS games that are still $30. It's insane. It's very annoying.
Baron, do you think Nintendo was justified in holding games like Zelda and the Mario game that they're popular for this year or last year? I don't even know when the hell it came out. Do you think they're justified holding the price high?
That's kind of like a borderline fence thing to discuss. It's kind of a hard thing to discuss because when you put out games like that, and those are like the top high quality games you can get, you kind of think, well, man, that's the best quality game you can probably buy at $60. with Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. You know what I mean? They're the two highest rated games this generation for a reason. They're that damn good. But then again, after that, it's like, you know, after a while, it's like, you know, can I get a discount, please? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but then again, if people continue to buy it like that, I mean, the sales of it is just ridiculous. We're talking about both of them nearly approaching 15 million at this point, and it ain't been out that long. So it's like I don't know. That's just if I'm for it, then one day I'm against it, then one day I'm for it, because it's kind of a hard thing to choose. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
the Switch
it's kind of like if you make a product, right, and you know your product is made with all premium materials. Do you continue to sell it at the price it's selling at, or do you drop it because you've been selling it for so long? You know what I mean? So
I guess it all would depend on the sales.
Yeah, that's all it comes.
Yeah.
That's all it comes
when
down
did
to.
the Switch release, Baron? That's all. When did
March 2017.
2017.
March 2017.
And it's almost at 15 mil, right?
Zelda might be past 15 mil.
Okay. And God of War came out when? Last year, and it's past 10 million. So I mean, dude, what I'm trying to say is, look, I'm not saying Nintendo don't have high scores and they're looked at as great games. I'm not saying all that. All I'm saying is, dude, they got to be a little more lenient with these prices, especially if they control, you know, first party games. Like, that's all I'm saying, bro. I'm not trying to sit here and argue with you all night, but it is what it is, bro. Like, come on.
I don't want to argue about that either. I just want y'all to understand that I get why Nintendo doesn't drop the price.
Okay.
I get why they do it. So I'm not mad at it, because I bought the game at launch like almost everybody else did. So I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? I don't feel like if you go out and you pay $60 for Breath of the Wild, I don't feel like you're getting cheated, because what's in that game is worth $60 damn.
What about?
I feel like you're getting cheated.
What about ARMS? Do you think that's worth 50? Because that's how much it is on Amazon.
Oh man,
50,
don't get me started
55.
on that game. Do not get me started on that game.
Regular 55, so it's technically on sale.
I don't look.
Arms
ARMS was an ambitious thing. It was cool.
What about 1-2 Switch? How was that? It was
cool, but I'm not going to defend. That game can definitely be discounted. That I know that.
That's $53.
That game should have been bundled with the Switch. It really should have, for free.
What 1-2 Switch? I don't even pay. I don't pay attention to stuff like that. That stuff like that is irrelevant to me.
Yeah, because
I don't even pay attention to it. Like
really
1-2 Switch, I forgot that even existed.
Bro, that's because when you love like my girlfriend, I'm not paying attention. I'm looking at the bill like, oh, it's just $50. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, you just do it because you love it. You don't care. You're not seeing it.
Oh no, I didn't buy that game, so I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, you're not a real Nintendo supporter then.
No, I just don't buy shit that's trash. That's just pretty much it.
There you go. Now I like it. Go ahead.
Hey, Baron, you said we're going to wrap this up here. We're about to get up off Nintendo. We've been on it way too long. I'm contracting AIDS. But you said it's the only conference that came out where a guy came out and he said we have something for everybody, and they delivered. What did they have for me, Baron? Something for everybody, right? The only time you've ever seen it. What game at that conference was?
You're a shooter guy. So
for somebody like me.
You're not interested in Doom Eternal. You're not interested in Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh, they showed those titles on the Switch.
Yeah, they had it. They had it. Small clips of it. Yeah.
Okay, so that's something for everybody. That's what you're basing this something for everybody off of.
Well, I mean, there was absolutely more than that.
Is those horrendously performing games?
I see. That's
these games are meant to be played at 60 FPS. And now that I'm on the PC, these games are meant to be played at 120 FPS with a mouse and keyboard.
Oh, here we go with the 120.
So Nintendo shows this bullshit, and what exclusive games did they show that appeals to me?
I think Astral Chain will appeal to you, but I don't think you give. I don't believe you will give it the time to.
I can't talk on it. I didn't see it, so
I believe it really would.
I guess I should have come better prepared. All right, let's move on. Vic, what else do we got with this nonsense? Where we at, Vic?
Fell asleep.
Yeah,
my bad. I tried to stay awake for most of that. Let's see. Oh yeah, what were each of our top 5 games at E3? If you could come up with 5.
Top 5 games. Go ahead, Vic.
No particular order. The 5 games I was most interested in: Halo Infinite, Ghostwire Tokyo, Remnant from the Ashes, Dying Light 2, and Zombie Army Dead Army 4.
What the hell is that?
You never the Nazi Zombie trilogy was like a PC thing for a while before it came to console, but they're making the sequel to the trilogy.
It's called what?
It's like a Nazi Zombie Army, and then the tagline to that is Dead Army 4.
And what was your 5 again? Hold up, let me hear that 5 again.
I don't think I've heard of that game.
Halo Infinite. Halo
Uh-huh.
Infinite, which was in the Xbox conference.
Uh-huh.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Uh-huh.
The zombie game I just said like 5 times. Remnant from the Ashes, which launches I think on everything except for the Switch. That was in the PC conference. It's a third-person co-op shooter, but it's more similar to it's like a boss battle game pretty much. And then Dying Light 2, because I thought Dying Light was super underrated, the original one.
Remnant for the Ashes.
Erica, what are your top 5, Erica?
Okay.
This is gonna be a struggle. Okay, I'm gonna try and name games that I didn't have my eye on before. So I'm not gonna say Gears or Ori.
Okay. All right.
So Elden Ring, which is of course the From Software game with George R. Martin, who's writing for it or consulting on it. I'm a From Software fan, so obviously that's gonna get my attention. Too bad it was leaked though. It kind of ruined the surprise. That. And then Panzer Dragoon from the Nintendo side. I'm kind of looking at Animal Crossing a little bit, which is crazy because I really didn't think I would ever be interested.
Who? What?
Ew.
Animal Crossing.
I missed that.
I had that
Animal
listed.
Crossing? Okay.
Animal
continue.
Crossing. Yeah, I'm mildly interested, and that's a step above to where I was.
Was that the reindeer game?
No, that was Way to the Woods.
It's actually worse than the reindeer game.
Okay.
Animal Crossing was
Continue.
from Nintendo. What else? I had some others in my head, and I'm trying to desperately figure it out. My friend Pedro looks cool. I think I want to play that. Yeah, I think I want to play that. But I'm kind of struggling, to be honest. I really want to play Cyberpunk, but because it's first person, I don't think I can because I actually get motion sickness with games like that. So I'm kind of sad about that because I do want to play it. But if I can get it modded or something like that, or get the FOV looking right, maybe I can play it. I'm kind of hoping. I think that's 4 games, right? I think I'm at 4.
You're struggling, ain't you?
Struggling, yeah, because everything else,
but Nintendo's conference was so awesome.
You might as well say Gears 5 and top it
No,
off.
what I'm saying is Astral Chain. I already had my eyes on it. There's all the other games I already liked, but yeah, I guess I could throw Gears, but I need to see more. I'm kind of actually worried about Gears now because of what they didn't show. So I'll just say Ori because I think Ori looks beautiful. And that could potentially be my game of the year next year. So I'll just go ahead and put Ori out there because it does have a release date now. So, yeah, that's set in stone for me.
All right, Blaze, where you at?
Number 1, easily Cyberpunk. Number 2, I know people kind of read it off in the beginning. Jedi Fallen Order, the Star Wars game. I think it looks interesting. Dying Light 2. And then really after that, maybe Borderlands 3 and Watch Dogs Legion.
Wow.
Borderlands 3, did they even show that game?
They did.
Destiny and Toontown from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Bro, Borderlands, it's a loot and shoot, Rev. You like Division? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like Division. Look at the graphics compared to Borderlands.
Bro, it's just it's that style, bro. Star style.
One thing I would say to you, Rev, you keep the same energy across the board.
I try to stay consistent
with what you said, but it's funny that he said Borderlands, but you know he shit on Nintendo for what they call cartoony looking games.
I never said nothing about cartoony looking games. Ever.
Man.
Blaze, you sound like you got some hostility in your voice, man.
Bro,
You sound like you want to wring Baron's neck.
I do. I really do.
Blaze, man, I don't mean harm. I'm just saying, I just don't understand how people say
Borderlands 3. You're gonna compare Borderlands 3 to Animal Crossings, bro. Is that what you're doing?
When did I just told you I don't like Animal Crossing. Why do y'all keep pinning games?
Talking about Nintendo games in general, the art style.
I'm talking about in general, like. Y'all would say all these kiddie Nintendo games, but you'll big up Borderlands 3. But if I say something like Astral Chain, that's a kiddie game. How the fuck does that work? I don't understand how that works.
I'm in agreement with him, Blaze. I'm in agreement with that. I've always said that. A lot of people will bitch and complain about Nintendo, and then they turn around and play shit like Borderlands, and I've never understood that.
Or they play Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's like, how you shitting on Breath of the Wild, but you playing Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah. Oh my God.
You're blowing my mind here.
Breath of the Wild any day.
That's literally fucking Disney. And you trying to shitting on Breath of the Wild and hyping up Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I don't get this shit. Shit like that, I don't understand it. It just blows my mind. I just had to put that out there. I just had to put that out there.
But in Blaze's defense, Blaze does own a shit ton of Nintendo Switch games. I'm sorry, Erica. Go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting. I forgot to mention Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
You like that one, Erica? You forgot, huh?
Like before, it was never on my radar, and now it's like it's up there. So I'm excited for that one. Yeah, forgot to mention that.
All right, Baron, do your top 5. Hold on, let me get the earplugs.
I don't have to yell it. But top 5 for E3, man. Number 1 is definitely sequel to Breath of the Wild. I love that they're going that dark, horror route with it. I think that's going to be absolutely amazing. We haven't had that since Majora's Mask.
Get that kitty game out of my face, guys.
That's going to be crazy. Number 2 is definitely Astral Chain. Y'all heard it here first. That game is going to be game.
Is that Platinum?
That's Platinum Games. Okay. That Astral Chain is game of the year. If you ain't seen.
I like Platinum. I really do.
There's an hour demo on that game and a new trailer. If you in doubts, go watch it.
I haven't seen it.
You will come back a new man. Trust me. Number 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was absolutely taken back by, the way they changed the combat system in there. I liked everything I seen about that in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Number 4, has to be probably Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. There's also an hour gameplay demo on that. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You'll be a changed man. Definitely shits on that Square Enix Marvel Avengers game. It's not even close. It really isn't even close. But Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 looks really good. Was that 4 of them? And I need a 5th one.
Those are all on Switch so far, right? Correct?
I don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake is on Switch.
I know it's gonna come, but go ahead.
The 5th one, that's kind of hard because I liked a lot of stuff, but y'all gonna hate me, but I'm gonna say Gears 5. I'm sorry, I'm a Gears fanboy, man. I love it.
Gears is gonna have good multiplayer. It'll have a good campaign. It just will.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all of them.
Whoa, hold on. Did you just say Gears 5? I'm sorry. I was looking up the Astral Chain trailer. Dude, do I have the right trailer here? What is it? Astral Chain?
Yeah, Astral Chain.
With the little 90-pound chick running around with blue hair? Is this what you're talking to me about?
Wait a minute. First of all, there's 2 different characters. There's a female
with a glowing sword in her hand. Dude.
There's the female and the male character before you start tripping.
Dude, the male looks just like the female.
Oh God,
dear God, Baron. Okay, look. Let's get to the Gears. You said you're hyped for Gears. You ripped on Death Stranding for not showing gameplay. What the hell gameplay did Gears show?
They showed a lot of gameplay after the conference
for that one mode.
I was blown.
What's the name of that mode?
It's called Escape.
Okay, Baron, are you going to tell me that gameplay looked any different than the other Gears title?
No, because it's a multiplayer mode. I can't say it looked any
It's the exact same game with less gore. I feel like the gore is downgraded.
Hold up, pump your brakes. Hold up. When they showed off this game, the developers said, we're gonna break it down, I think, to 4 sections, and we're gonna show you each section of the game at one period in time. I don't like that strategy. I think they should have thrown it all together, but they want to focus on the new mode, then multiplayer, then campaign. I don't agree with how they're doing it at all. I don't think you should wait 4 more weeks from now to actually show us the campaign. I think that's a bad move. But when he explained it like that, I was like, okay, I get what you're saying. You don't want people to overlook your new concept. You only want them to play Escape. That's fine. But still, during the conference, you still could have gave us everything or a little bit of everything and then focus on Escape after the conference. So I'm with you. I don't agree how they did it, but when they explained it that way, I was like,
Breath of the Wild had no gameplay either, right?
Well, that was an in-game engine right there running. So
do you remember you told me, oh my goodness, hold on, man, my head hurts over here.
Migraine. What'd you do to him, Baron?
Erica, you're a Gears fan, are you not?
Yo, yeah.
You are, right? What do you think? Why do you think they didn't show a campaign, like a lengthy campaign demo for this E3 for Gears?
Very simple too.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I know I've been seeing on Twitter that there's rumblings that they didn't want to give anything away.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't buy it. I think that's why I'm starting to get a little worried. It's like, well, why aren't they showing this? Is it too predictable of a story? They don't want to like show any kind of hint, because you can kind of tell already that Kate is going to be torn between Cog and Locust. Like that's kind of like what they're going for in that little trailer. You know, when her head was like moving around and shape shifting and stuff. So I'm just curious, like why show that, which gives away kind of where it's going, but not show any gameplay? Like, what are they afraid of revealing? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, why would you hold off? Like Baron says, they're going to wait 4 weeks or so. Why would you skip E3 and show it in 4 weeks? It just doesn't make sense.
And did you watch the multiplayer mode?
The Escape? Yeah, I saw it on IG.
Did you see how they were
What'd you think of it?
Sucking to the wall when they were going into cover? Like it looked way worse than
I feel like you can do that on the other Gears games.
No, it wasn't as bad, dude.
I don't know what you're talking. That's always been there since the first game. Like,
bro, it's always been like that, but not to that extent, man. I feel like
you just trying to find something to bitch about.
Bro, I'm not, bro. I like Gears, bro. I like Gears.
It looks the same. It doesn't look.
Erica, what'd you think of it?
It looks okay. It wasn't anything that got me floored, like, oh my gosh, this is something so crazy new. I can't wait. I rather play competitive multiplayer. That's what I'm going to be playing more. I'll try it. It looks okay. I just didn't think it was E3 material. I really didn't. I didn't think it was anything that was going to change non-Gears fans' minds. I can't see non-Gears fans looking at this and thinking, oh my gosh, I have to play this. I think they're going to look at it and say, this is just Gears.
Does the gore look downgraded, or is it all in my head?
I don't know about that. I didn't notice that.
Did it seem the same to you?
I noticed the reticle looking kind of crazy, and now it's like they're kind of spongy. You know, on Destiny, you can see their health or the damage you're putting into them, like the little numbers. Mm-hmm. They threw that in there, and I thought, that's kind of interesting. Like, why are they doing that? I'm not a fan of that too much. But as far as like the gore, I didn't. Now that you're making me think of it, like I don't remember seeing a lot of gore. Maybe they did tone it down. I don't know. I'll have to look at it again.
Baron, you told me the last podcast we had that Gears 5 was doing stuff that it's never done before. And I told you, if this gameplay blows me away, I will absolutely play it.
Yeah.
Where did you even hear that this campaign's doing shit that they haven't done before?
They've said it, but they didn't come and show it. So I don't know what to tell you. That's what they said, but they didn't come and show it. So I don't have nothing to say about that.
Vic, what did you think?
I think it's terrible.
Of Gears 5?
The multiplayer mode.
The multiplayer mode, the concept looked cool. The
Someone
CGI
just shit their
trailer.
pants. What?
I heard that too.
Sound like someone just shit on their mic.
It sounded like someone was swallowing.
Well, anyway,
Continue.
the multiplayer mode they showed off looked all right. It was.
Oh my god. Baron, calm yourself.
I'm calm. You don't want to laugh?
No, the concept was cool. The gameplay I saw wasn't very impressive, so that was kind of a letdown. All the Gears 5 shit in general was kind of a letdown, to be honest. And if you pay attention to what they said in the presentation, they're not showing off any of the campaign stuff until September. I think they're going to do a deep dive on multiplayer, and then they're going to do a deep dive on the new escape mode, and then they'll do a deep dive on the campaign in September. So I don't know. That sounds pretty spooky, considering like that's never really been done before. Gears has always kind of shown their hand a little earlier than that.
Mhm.
Just for games in general, really. Like, who holds off their campaign footage until the month of release? That's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of suspect.
I
Yeah.
think I understand what they were trying to do. Because sometimes stuff can get lost in the shuffle at E3. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
instead
they had to save some screen time for that fucking Way to the Woods. I think that's why they cut the Gears 5 campaign
Wow.
footage.
Priority. Oh my gosh.
Bro, they got no excuse. I'm trying real hard not to swear. They got no excuse. They showed a lot of very mid to low tier indie games on the main stage and showed nothing of one of their heaviest hitters. That's a misstep and a poor presentation any way you look at it. There's no reason why they shouldn't have shown something, because last E3 they showed campaign footage. So why not this year? That just seems like a very, very big missed opportunity in my eyes.
Who knows? Maybe that's why, because they showed it. Who knows?
You know what? You know why I'm even more disappointed is that I really thought they were gonna bring it, and then I would be talking to Rev right now about how he changed his mind on the game. Like I was really thinking, like I'm gonna be talking to Rev on Wednesday, and we're gonna be hyped for Gears, and they let me down.
Man, forget y'all. I'm hyped. Let's go, baby. I'm hyped.
You got anything on this?
Oh, but they've got rainbow, gear. It's weird shit, bro. You know what I mean? And what about Forza Legoland? You like that one?
You was gonna bring that any way you could get a jab, you gonna get it in, ain't you?
Of course, bro.
I knew he was gonna bring.
Hey, Forza's a great game, but like, why? Why?
I'm gonna agree with you. That is the most cringiest looking crossover I've seen in a while. Like it just doesn't fit.
Worse than Gears Pop.
No, see, that doesn't make sense to me, Baron. That looks like something you would like. As soon as I saw that, I said, look, another game for Baron.
When the hell have you ever seen me like anything Lego?
Dude, it's Nintendo Lego.
No,
Isn't it the same
not
thing?
the same, Rev. Stop it.
What's the difference?
It's a big difference.
Is there?
It's not fucking Legos.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of similar.
I think that's the trend that Xbox has been taking like this whole gen, even leading into the next one. Like a lot of the aesthetic for the games, and even with like the development teams that they're purchasing, like they all have a very similar aesthetic, and it's more on the cartoon art style. Like a lot of the stuff that was highlighted in this all had that aesthetic, and I think it probably has a lot to do with lining up with the marketing pitch, right? 4K 60, 8K 120. Those games are the games that can reach that. But I think they're missing their core audience. Like you can't just keep putting out Gears and Halo as your mature titles. Like the only mature title they showed, which I don't even know if it's an exclusive, was the Blair Witch game. Everything else was like Way to the Woods, Gears Pop.
How many people thought that was Outlast or something?
Oh, I thought 100%.
I thought it was Alan Wake.
Alan Wake too. You know what?
Yeah.
That's a great idea too. They should bring that back.
And the concept was cool, but it was the same thing. It's like cool concept, but CGI trailer. So it's like we don't really know what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, CGI trailers they just need to end. Like, I don't mind here and there, but everything's CGI on top of being 2020.
I don't mind if it's a game that's 2 years out, right? If this is your concept, CGI trailer makes sense, right? Maybe you don't have a vertical slice to show. But if your game launches early 2020, like Rainbow Six Quarantine, and you're showing CGI trailers, that's bad.
And I agree with you on that because Square Enix hyped you up. I was ready to see this Marvel Avengers game, and we got CGI to death. They had the nerve to have a release date, a pre-order setup, and everything, but you ain't show us no damn gameplay.
Yeah, that was probably
that was terrible.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
All right, let's switch gears over here to Sony, to Blaze's camp, okay? How do we justify Sony not showing up? And I know, Blaze, you're going to want to say because of the competition, okay? But let's be real here, okay? Sony not showing up is pretty freaking unacceptable. Wouldn't you agree with this?
I do.
So why didn't they show?
I think they showed off the games they did last E3, and it was kind of like a screw, like that E3 setup where they were in a tent and all this dumb weird shit. You know, they should have had a traditional E3, and I think they just showed what they had. And at this point, you know, them not showing up is real arrogant. You know, they can say we didn't have nothing to show, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you could have showed something. You got something. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse for them not showing up. Honestly, I think it hurt E3. It really did. I think it did. But for me, you know, when you're sitting on top, I guess you put your feet up and just watch everybody else burn, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
That's not how you stay on top, though. You got to stay hungry.
Oh, my God.
Erica, what's the deal with Sony? You got any thoughts on that?
What's the deal with Sony?
You think they played it smart?
I think, well, there's talks that PlayStation Experience is going to come back. It's going to return. So that would probably be in December.
I hope so.
I'm thinking they got something up their sleeve, maybe, you know, then maybe that's when they'll show the console or talk about the console at least for next gen. But as far as these games, I mean, we already heard about Death Stranding. They dropped that trailer. It's coming out this year. The Last of Us 2, they could drop a trailer around right now. I mean, they could do it now, but they're holding off, and I'm not sure why.
It's not done.
It's not done. I mean, I don't know. I heard there would be a trailer, but who knows now? And then there's rumors that, or not rumors, but talks that it was supposed to come out this year, but because of Death Stranding and Kojima wanting it out this year, then they pushed it. So I really don't know what's up with Sony right now. I really don't know. But I think those main games are kind of what they got. And we've seen it the past, 2-3 years, you know, the same games. So maybe they just didn't want to pay the money to show those again and just hold off. I don't know.
What do you think, Baron?
I think it's exactly what I've been saying it is. I think it's exactly what Michael Pachter came on E3.
Yeah, that guy's irrelevant.
Live and said. He said they had nothing to show. That's why they didn't show up. They dodged E3. It's just simple as that. Like Erica said, they've been showing you the same games for the last 3 years. What are they going to do? Come back and show you the same shit again? Like, their hands were pretty much tied. It's just pretty much they just ran out of gas. You know, that's pretty much what it was. I mean, them not being there is still unacceptable. They should have planned, you know, way better than they did, to the point to where you don't show up at E3. I think it's just horrific. I mean, if they did show up and they shitted out the same shit that they did before, the conferences for E3 and the tone of E3 would have still remained the same. Nintendo would have outshined all of them because they basically would have came in with the same shit already.
Right.
It really wouldn't have mattered.
Sony won E3 without even being there. Number one, Baron. I hope you understand that.
Well, I hope you still believe that.
Bro, everybody's looking forward to those. We got those games that are just looking pretty. You listen, you can't compare your trash company to fucking
trash, bro. You hyping up a UPS simulator, and you want to talk about trash?
A UPS.
I don't want to hear nothing from you.
Stranding's a UPS.
I don't want to hear nothing from you right now. And what makes that so bad is that you sat up here and complained about CGI, and that's exactly what you got from Death Stranding the last time they showed that shit.
Okay, and Breath of the Wild was not CGI.
Breath of the Wild ain't coming out in November 8th of this year, is it? No, it's not.
Okay, but it's coming
I don't
out.
want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That game is not coming out in November.
He said,
8th,
"Oh, I love it." He said, "I love the mood. It was dark and scary."
Yeah, I love the mood, but that game is not coming out on November 8th, sir. I should see gameplay if the game is coming out this year. Period. There's nothing around that.
Blaze, what are the exclusives Sony has in the pipeline?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Right.
How good does that look? Tell me.
Okay, what's the next one?
Last of Us 2. How good does that look? Tell me.
Next.
What's the other one? There's one more, right?
And Death Stranding, right? Those are the three? That's it?
Well, Death Stranding I didn't say because it's coming to PC.
We got nothing else, right?
You could throw Neo 2 in there.
Okay, but can I say something? Those two games, first of all, Last of Us 2 really takes us, like, whether you like the direction or not, takes a big steaming shit on anything else anybody else showed. Then that's a fact. I'm sorry.
Is Neo 2 a PS exclusive?
Yes.
No PC? Neo 1 came to PC.
It's like timed. Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Timed.
And do we have concrete evidence that Death Stranding is going to PC?
No.
Okay, so you're just assuming that.
Right. Well,
it's been said like 50 times, so it's probably is going to PC.
Okay, so we can assume that their top three
Let's
are the
just
ones
assume,
that we said.
Yeah,
right?
Let's just give it to them anyway. But
Okay. Yeah. Hey Vic, if you had the choice between those three exclusives or Halo Infinite, what would you play?
Vic, I like you. No, out of all those,
yeah. Sony's three exclusives or Halo Infinite?
That's an easy. You mean 3-1 or just
no? You have a choice out of those three. You can pick any one of those three or Halo Infinite. What would you do?
Oh, Last of Us for sure. 100%.
Last of Us 2? How about you, Erica?
I gotta say the same. Yeah.
Okay, Blaze.
You already know, baby.
Baron.
Oh, I don't fuck with Halo. So.
so what game would you pick on Sony's side?
Oh man, out of those three, definitely won't be UPS PS Simulator. Definitely won't be that. Last of Us is so goddamn overrated. So I guess I'll go with Ghost of Tsushima.
Why is it overrated? Because it got a high score. Why
no,
it's overrated?
No, it's overrated because y'all didn't let the actual franchise achieve something yet. It's only been one game. And y'all praise it like it's been around for so much and it has this high pedestal when it doesn't.
You know why it's only been one game?
It's been one game.
Because
that one game has been good. Can't deny that. That one game has been good and they're making the sequel.
That's the problem.
But it's like, yo, pump your brakes. You know what I mean?
Because you guys repeat the same goddamn exclusive every other year.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, we don't, sir.
We do.
No, we don't.
Are you seriously gonna sit here and lie to everybody? You guys don't repeat the same exclusive with your mushroom simulator
every year, bro. What are
jumping on goddamn mushrooms all the time?
No, we don't, bro. We don't.
Where do you live, Baron?
whoa.
Don't get mad at me because I'm just spitting the facts. It's just the facts, bro.
Vic, did you have any thoughts on Sony not showing up to the conference?
No, I figured. I mean, when I saw them release the information for the next PlayStation in the press release, it made sense why they weren't showing up. Like, I don't think they had much to show.
Yeah,
I think the three heavy hitters that they could have shown, they've already shown. So what's the point? Like, I don't know. I'm hoping there's a PSX though. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, and Death Stranding, we've already seen it. So what are they going to show? A bunch of third-party stuff like Xbox did? Like, if they showed up, I don't think they would have saved E3. I think it would have been another super mid-conference.
And speaking of Death Stranding, I was never hyped for Death Stranding. Like, even when I first seen it, it seemed maybe interesting, but I was never like, oh my God, Death Stranding. Never. Like, Dad, find me saying that. Find me saying that anywhere. Never came out of my mouth, ever.
What changed your mind?
What changed my mind? Because after watching that 10-minute video of pretty much nothing and still not understanding, I still have to give him the benefit of the doubt that every single game Kojima has made has been quality.
Be honest, bro. Was it that ladder?
That ladder was crazy, huh?
Bro, that fool gets a pass on so much. If anybody else not named Kojima showed that
he does get a pass.
Everybody would have been like, bro, what is this?
But he always does weird shit, and he does get too many passes. He does.
Yeah, he gets a lot of passes. That's why I'm reserving my judgment on that. Like, it, from what I've seen, it doesn't look dope to me. Like, I think
he's gay personally.
Kojima. I I don't know.
What?
I think the dude's gay. I've played too many Metal Gear games where you're trying to go all stealthy, laying down, and they're zooming up on Snake's ass. And I'm like, can we get any other view than up in this dude's ass crack?
Yeah,
and
but they
not just
also
like one Metal Gear game; it's a bunch.
yeah, but what
And then
about the
like in
girl
this most recent one where you're inching forward, he looks like he's just straight up humping the ground.
Yeah, but what's the girl in the cage, Eric? Who was that? She was
The
dating
what?
that girl that was locked in your cage or something. Someone say it. You guys don't know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't know what
What
you're
are you
talking
talking
about.
Oh my god, bro. In the Phantom Pain, the girl.
Oh, I didn't play that.
Wow. Somebody will say it in the chat, I'm sure.
What
You're
about her?
talking about that
Well,
one
she was
girl,
damn near
the-
she was damn near
Quiet?
naked. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she had like a shower scene or something, right?
God damn,
Okay,
she
so
did.
maybe he likes guys and girls.
Maybe.
I mean, regardless of all that, that game didn't look that great from what I've seen.
He's weird. The storylines in Metal Gear have always been very weird.
To Kojima's defense, I have no problem with the weirdness. I just have a problem with you not showing us what are we doing when I put the controller in my hand.
Yeah, same thing.
That's
Like
my
I
problem.
I liked some of the older Metal Gear games a lot on the PlayStation 2, but I'm just saying from what I've seen with this new IP, I haven't seen anything that makes me want to buy that game.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna buy it just because he made it. I gotta see something.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure the reviews will come out 2 weeks in advance. If the reviews come out and they hold it, you know what I mean? And then, the game comes out a day later, then I'll be worried. But if the reviews come out, if there's no mandatory, like, hey, you can't show it off, there's no, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest. The reviews are gonna come out early and they're all gonna be great because it's Kojima.
You think so?
The media bias?
He gets that kind of respect.
So
They're gonna call him a genius. It's gonna get 9s and 10s.
Nah,
But
I don't agree with you. If this was Metal Gear Solid, I would agree. But this is not Metal Gear. So I don't think they're gonna look at it the same way.
Erica, what were you wanting to ask me about Death Stranding?
Oh yeah, I was talking about your tweet, how E3 was, I guess, so terrible that it has you more interested in Death Stranding now. Is that true?
No, I was just kidding.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Basically, I was saying E3 was such a pile of shit that I'm actually interested in Death Stranding now, but I'm really not.
Okay, so you just use that to show just how bad it was.
Yeah, exactly. I was just trying to demonstrate how shitty that show was. And Baron, I didn't watch Nintendo's conference. Okay, so
I know you did.
Your show's exempt. Even though I'm sure I would have hated it.
I don't think you would have hated it though. We're gonna get you back, man. We're gonna
Where
bring
we
you back
Vic?
home.
We got anything else?
We talked Scarlett?
Yeah. We got a game that changed your mind after seeing it at E3, like a game you thought that was going to be trash that actually ended up looking good.
Oh.
And on the other side of that, a game that you thought was going to look good but ended up looking worse once you saw it at E3.
I know that one, Rev.
I
Why
can
don't you start with that, Rev? Why don't you start with that one?
Yeah, Rev.
Pass. I don't have nothing. They all look like shit. Every game out there look like shit. Except for the ones that I already knew about, that I was already interested in, and they didn't disappoint. Doom, it's like they showed the exact same thing as the last one, I feel like. You know what I mean? Cyberpunk, it didn't even show gameplay this time. The games I was interested in, I'm still interested in, but the demos did nothing for me.
But Cyberpunk, you weren't interested at all in Cyberpunk. I feel like you got more interested this time.
No, from what? From a cutscene?
You said
They showed game. They
I
showed
said those
gameplay at
can't
the
be
end.
the graphics.
Yeah, they showed gameplay at the end.
Yeah, they showed it quick, and I'm interested because it's CD Projekt Red. From that first gameplay demo, yeah, I'm just kind of I'm not excited for anything but Doom. And Doom's just, I'm not even going to say Doom is doing anything new. It's just, I really enjoyed the formula. Doom looks like more of the same, or Doom 2 looks like more of the same, but hey, I'm all for it. It's only the second game, so whatever.
So mechanics, though. You know what I mean?
So Rev, you didn't like the new multiplayer mode they showed?
For what?
Doom Eternal.
I didn't even know there was a multiplayer mode. I don't play Doom for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a battle mode where one can be Doomslayer and the other 2 players are demons.
See, I don't like shit like that.
I don't care for that. They did something similar in Dead Space where you played as the necromorphs. I hated that. Hated it.
They did that in Dying Light as well.
But what else was out there? You know what I mean? What other games that interested me were out there where they show gameplay? Nothing.
What do you mean, bro? Dude, Rev called me when they showed the grandmother and Watch Dogs. He's like, "Are you seeing this shit? This looks awesome." I'm like, "Bro,
yeah. I'm sure I did.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. He's running his mouth.
Look, one game that definitely I thought was going to be trash and it turned out to be good was definitely Watch Dogs Legion.
Same.
But that changed my whole mind because of
it looks interesting, right?
It looks very interesting. It looks really good. It reminded me a little bit of The Getaway, which was on the PS2 back in the day, if anybody played that. And then when they showed Granny with the strap, Granny had the strap and was busting caps. I was sold, bro.
And that's what appealed to you? Or you? Dude.
What it really appealed to me is that you can play with any character in the game. I like that it wasn't centralized or focused on one character. You can literally be any character that's in the game.
Thank God they gave us that option, but I'd rather be invested in one character. That's just me. I like that. That's cool. I thought they picked it randomly, but I like that you can actually pick who you're going to play as and build your squad or whatever. But I'd rather be invested in one person. Just me. Like, I'd rather, you know what I mean? And see what you go through with that one person. What changed my mind, you want to be honest? I'll get heat for this. I don't care. Watching Fallout 76 add a battle royale mode, bro. I am pumped for Fallout 76. Right or wrong?
You're lying,
bro.
You're
trolling 100%.
You're the only one hyped on that. Sorry.
What are they thinking, though? What are they thinking?
Bro, that game has the worst movement and shooting mechanics. That would be the most frustrating battle royale.
It's already frustrating to shoot normally. I couldn't imagine trying to shoot. Trying to be precise and then get out of here.
Stuff outside the map and glitching everywhere.
Yeah, forget that.
How about it, Blaze? Did you have a game?
Look, I liked. I wanted to see the when I seen Miyazaki's name, the FirmSoft game, but I don't know where it's gonna go. If it's gonna be sort of a Souls type clone or whatever, I'm with it. But until I know where that's going, I'm definitely on the radar. And then like you said, Doom looks more of the same, and yeah, it does. But they're adding grappling hooks, this and that. Whatever, man. Look,
it's little changes,
little minor things. But
yeah,
look, E3 was. I just kept waiting. I just kept waiting for like that game. Even Dying Light, they showed 2 seconds and it said 2020.
Yeah, they showed nothing.
I was disappointing. I'm like, what? No gameplay? Like, get out of here, dude. You know what I mean? Get out of here, bro.
Hey, man. Only person that showed gameplay was the gods.
No, Sony wasn't there. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the only gods, the Nintendo gods.
Erica.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Oh, games that. Okay, so I was curious.
What, this podcast is trash? What's up?
No. But speaking of trash, I was curious about what Battletoads was gonna look like. That game looks terrible.
Yeah.
I did not like the art style. I didn't, and usually I'm one for like the artsy kind of art styles and stuff, but I was not feeling this one.
Looks
at
plain,
all.
Doesn't it, Erica?
Yeah, like it just doesn't look like there's a lot of animation going on. It just looks weird. I don't know. I was not feeling that. And as far as games I wasn't really interested in before, again, the Star Wars game, I think that's on my radar now. And then also, Astral Chain, I was interested, but now it's like day one. I need this game. Like I'm up to that level now with that.
Game of the year?
So we'll see. I hope so.
What was that other game, Souls type kind of anime? And it got delayed. You know what I'm talking about? Got delayed.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Kind of like it's like a Souls type game, and same, just anime artwork. God, it was
But when did it show? Who showed it?
Last year it showed, but I was surprised not to see it.
Oh, you talking about Code Vein?
Code Vein, there you go.
Yeah, that's coming out in September.
Okay.
Apparently it's on the floor, but they didn't show it on like stage or anything. Yeah, that's coming out in September. I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was yours again, Vic? Was it Watch Dogs?
Yeah, the game I didn't really think much of was definitely Watch Dogs, because I've never been interested in Watch Dogs, and that went from no interest to like I'd probably buy that. The game that changed my mind that I thought was going to be dope that wasn't was definitely Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I was in the minority saying that it looked pretty cool because the concept was cool, the antagonist was cool, but then I saw the gameplay and I was like, yeah, I think I might not buy that.
Yeah, I agree. It looks terrible.
Man.
I want to give props to a game that nobody's talking about. I thought the little roller game that Ubisoft showed actually looked pretty decent.
What
Roller Champions? I think it
was
was
on Ubisoft.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that catching on like Rocket League did.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the name of it?
Roller Champions. It has like that Rocket League aesthetic to it.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like a roller derby game.
I stopped typing.
Rev, so what's the problem with Ghost? Because I just know we'll end up liking the game, but you're saying it looks too similar or what?
I made a video on this.
There's no bullet impact at all.
Yeah, it just looks like the exact same thing, only now it's going to take 5 minutes to heal.
Okay, and what about Division to Division 2?
I talked to you about this in the beginning of the podcast. I like the Division 2 because the bullet impact felt better than 1. It's essentially the exact same game as the first one. I'm not going to debate that. I'm not going to debate it for a second. With minor tweaks, the bullet damage being one of them. Yes, there's no bullet damage, but the bullet impact, it feels better when you shoot. The main thing about the Division 2 that hooked me, Blaze, was the keyboard and mouse. When I played on PS4 with LJ, the guy from work, I hated every second of it. It felt like shit. If that's all I had to play it on, I wouldn't even play the Division 2.
Right now, but how do you know if we don't play this game and you end up liking it beta with the keyboard and mouse? It feels good. Like
if I like it, it'll be because I'm playing on the keyboard and mouse. That's
okay.
It.
Fair enough. Fuck it.
Yeah. But it essentially looks like the same thing. Where are we at, Vic? Anything else?
That was all I had listed, unless you guys can think of anything.
Erica, you got anything?
Not really.
This is kind of like a special episode. If we run out of shit, we don't have to keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unless they have anything.
You guys think it's too early for a next-gen machine?
No.
By next year, no. I think next year is a good year.
I think next year's perfect.
Yeah.
Do you think Sony needs to release a next-gen machine?
Really?
Right now.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, next year they do, yes.
Yeah, because the Pro was a half step.
It's not even about the Pro. I think their user base is so they got 95 plus million PS4s out there, and I don't think they want to. You know what I mean? I just don't feel like they want to let that go so quick.
Yeah, but if they're preaching backwards compatibility, it doesn't matter. They can still keep that install base.
They could.
Exactly. And they'll run better.
And I think, how the PS3 fell off after 2 years, like they just stopped releasing games. I think the PS4 will have a little longer, Xbox One PS4 will have a little longer legs. You know what I mean? I think it'll be more relevant for a longer period of time. But
it's going to be different. I don't think you need to worry about that part. I think you need to worry about third-party content getting spread thin. I think that's going to be the major factor. Because instead of just 3 platforms, instead of it just being what it was, 2 platforms, it turns into 3 platforms. Now you're going to go from 3 to like 4 to 5 and 6.
Imagine trying to develop a game for the base Xbox One.
So it's that's where the problem's going to lie, because you got the Stadia coming in and whoever else going to come in after them. So relying on third parties is going to be something that Sony and Microsoft are not going to be able to do again. So that's going to be kind of different.
So does that mean that the new consoles will be held back, you think?
I hope not.
No, I don't think they'd be held back. I'm just talking about in the sense of Sony trying to repeat their success again with what they had with the PS4.
I don't think it's going to take off as fast as it did for this gen. It was crazy. I felt like, dude, it was like even Xbox One Xbox One was selling really well. It's just the PS4 was doing so incredible that that's why. But I couldn't find the PS4 for months. I was trying to find one for my cousin for months and months and months. I could not find a PS4 in stock. What I will say though is what is the price point that you're comfortable with? Like I feel like they have to come out if the tech is in the box, man, like I don't care. Make it a
I'll pay $1,000 fucking dollars. What do you mean? What are we
Oh man, you crazy.
If it's a good solid box and it's running good game performance, dude, I'll pay $1,000.
You
I'm
crazy.
on
That's
par with
suicide.
You're saying what's the rest of the world comfortable with should be the question.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
$400 is what they should target it at. That seems to be the sweet spot.
I feel like 500 is you know. I think 600 is like the absolute max. But
They can't do it. They can't do
Yeah.
600. They'll
No.
never do 600.
I
again.
know they won't, but man, I wish just for the added.
It won't be over $500.
It's not even going to be 500.
Yeah, I don't
500
think so
is
either.
a death sentence. So I think Microsoft is in a good spot because I think Microsoft can sell it at a loss. I think they can do that. They have the money to take that loss. Sony, on the other hand, I don't think they have the money to take a loss like that. So that's where stuff is going to get real interesting because they talked about Scarlett being, this most powerful machine thing, and it looks like it's going to be probably equal with the PS5. And anybody can take a loss on the launch of a console is Microsoft. So that's where it's going to get kind of scary because if it's $500, you're done. Like it's not going to happen. Not in this market today.
Microsoft was saying, "Oh, the Xbox One X, it's a monster. It's a monster." Now all of a sudden, the Scarlett eats monsters for breakfast. Get that trash out of my face.
Hey, did they not insinuate that it's going to be the strongest console? I feel like that's exactly what they insinuated.
How do they know?
They did, right?
Yeah,
they did insinuate that.
People in my video were telling me that that's not what they said. I'm like, that's the impression I got. I can't remember the exact words, but that's definitely how they were coming off. Like they got the next most powerful console.
I think of course, these guys know more inside information than we do. So they probably have an idea, just like Microsoft knew what they was going in with Stadia. That's why they brought up all these developers, try to get this Project xCloud thing running before Google announced Stadia. So they probably know some inside stuff. I don't think it's going to really trump the PS4 like that. I think they'll be probably about equal. That's what I feel about it. But the price point is going to be very, very.
I think Microsoft needs to be substantially a more powerful console because if they're not, I feel like it's going to be problems.
It's not going to be.
Why would it be problems?
Why
would it be problems?
Why not?
Why not?
I want to know why would it be problems? I don't get it.
Because if these things are on par, like when I'm playing my Pro and my X, dude, if they're not side by side, yeah, can you see the difference? Yeah, if you have Digital Foundry, zoom in 20 times, yeah.
Except for Red Dead. Red Dead's a big difference on X.
Okay, and there's a couple games that there's a big difference. Even Shadow of War is another one. But what I'm saying is, if it's not substantial, dude, I just feel like people are going to stick with PlayStation.
Why do you feel that way?
Because they already built their library. You know how many, dude, there's a lot of people that have just got these massive libraries on PlayStation. I'm not saying they don't on Xbox, but they're just going to stay with the console that's going to give them. Plus, look, you can play this shit anywhere on Xbox.
Well, right, I mean that depends. If y'all gotta understand, the people that are buying consoles, they're the people that most likely are not going to play on PC. So that effect is really not going to matter that much.
Yeah, but that's not totally true. It is true in some cases, but it's not totally true.
And I'm telling you, them deciding to launch with Halo Infinite is a big game changer. That means whatever Sony does, they have to have something major for the PS5. I'm just assuming it comes out at the same time next year because I think that's what they have to do. They have to come with something major. It's just simple as that. You're looking at around that time, you're looking at Halo Infinite, probably something like a Bayonetta 3 or Metroid Prime 4. You're gonna have to have like a big hitter to sell your console. Like
maybe Ghost of Tsushima is a PS5 title. Who knows?
But can that compete against Halo though? That's
Halo's established, dude. But what I'm saying is, dude, yes, that's huge that Microsoft is launching it with Scarlett. That's huge. It really is. That's a big deal. But at the same time, bro, I feel like there's a lot of people that will end up getting both consoles. They really will. And if you have a capable PC, you can play that game. If you have just a decent PC, you don't need a PC game. It's really it's expensive if you want it to be, but you can have a $500, $400 machine and play Halo Infinite. You really can.
But people,
how do you know that?
People ain't trying to put together a piece. If they're in the market trying to buy a console, they obviously are not trying to build a gaming PC. It's just that simple. Otherwise, they will put their resources and energy elsewhere.
So why did Rev do?
So, well, Rev is he's more on PC now than anything.
Now, yeah, but
Now,
that's not the case.
But when he wasn't trying to do that, he was trying to buy a console.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with that. Blaze, you got to remember, we've been gaming for a long time, man. We're bored, we're sick of everything, so we're looking for new experiences. Why do you think I'm trying to get good with the keyboard and mouse now? Because it completely changes the game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel like playing on a keyboard and mouse is like a whole new experience for you. It's weird. It's like having a new. I can't even explain it. But dude, Rev, you just said it yourself, right? On one of your videos, you said if my PC is shitting all over the Scarlett by a big margin, you're not even gonna get it.
No.
Or somewhat.
No. I said if the Anaconda, which it's no longer the Anaconda, so stupid. If the Scarlett, okay, is substantially stronger than the PS5, I'm gonna get it. If it's right around the same power, then there's no reason for me to get it because I got a PC that'll play those Xbox games. Like I still have an Xbox despite just giving my son my Xbox One X. I even got the Xbox emblem at the bottom of my damn computer screen. My computer is the new Xbox.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
You know what I mean? And that's I feel like that sucks, man, because I'm a console guy. I love this PC. I love playing with the keyboard and mouse. I love playing on the monitor. But at the end of the day, I sound like you, Blaze. But at the end of the day, I'm a console guy. I like sitting on my couch when I get home, firing up the console, going into a party chat, and just playing a game. You know, and on PC, it's very different for me. And yes, I know you can hook it up to your TV. I got mine hooked up to my TV, but I still choose to play on the monitor because that's where it feels best.
Mm.
You know,
Erica, I want to see what you feel about that. If console owners, because when they buy a new console next year, whichever one it is, do you feel like Sony has to come with something big since Halo is going to be launching with that console?
To compete, you just mean software-wise? We're not talking power-wise or anything?
Just power-wise. I mean, let's just say it is more powerful than the Scarlett. Let's just go with that. Okay. And they come out within 2 weeks of each other because we've seen that happen before. And one has Halo Infinite and the other one just has multi-plats. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So do you feel like Sony has to have that exclusive game, that big game to launch with it?
I would say, yeah, that's going to help. But honestly, if they just have a cheaper price, I think that's all they really need. It's going to be like this generation all over. That's what I think. If Xbox is more expensive, it's a wrap.
I think the price. What if it's not?
Yeah,
what if they're the same price?
If they're the same, and if the power is the same, or if it's more than the Xbox, yeah, I would say. I mean, they got to launch, I think, with something big. My prediction is Horizon. I think it would be ready by then. That's my prediction, but I don't know if that's big enough for Halo. I mean, Halo is so big that I could honestly see the Xbox starting off pretty strong compared to this generation where
the Xbox One had a better launch lineup than the PS4. Did it?
I think so. Yeah, I actually held off on getting a PS4 till 2014.
Really?
I didn't even get. Yeah, I had an Xbox first because I came from the 360. I was I had trust in Xbox, and you know how that turned out. I actually sold that, and then I did get my PS4.
So Erica, you had trust in Xbox after seeing their conference, after playing a submarine, buying a 360, all that.
It was more of like comfort because I came from 360, so all my friends were there. Of course the whole friend factor comes into play. Yeah, and my husband bought the PS4, so we technically had both. But for myself, I had only Xbox, and it was a rough start. I started to see like, yeah, this console ain't it. It ain't really doing it for me. I sold it. I did get it later. I got another one, but anyways, I think. This generation coming up, it could flip. I think Xbox does have the potential if they play their cards right. And if that price is good and the power is more, if they have the power, then yeah, I think they could do it. But who knows, you know?
I went on record to say this when I reviewed their conference. I said they're set. It's all on Sony to figure out if they're going to match them.
Hey,
Them launching with Halo just set them. They're set.
Baron,
There's nothing you can really do about
what is you and Black Bond's problem with each other?
Nothing. It's just a little.
Nothing? Okay,
It's just a
all
little
right,
internet rivalry. Not on my end. He might have some real beef. I don't have nothing. I just think he's a damn idiot. It's funny, but
okay. He just said Horizon sold over 10 million and Halo 5 Guardians did not. What do you think about that?
I don't really give a damn. Halo is still a bigger franchise.
That goes with what we're talking about, though.
That is true. And we got to remember, too.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
90 million on PS4 right now.
Yeah.
So we do got to play that. You know, that is a factor.
It is. And Halo is not what it used to be, bro. It really isn't. You can say what you want. It's really not as big as it used to be.
But how long has we had since a Halo game?
Is it?
I mean, those people are not going to disappear. When they announced, when you make a Halo announcement, everybody still goes crazy. They might have been a little bit disappointed in the last one, but still, that franchise is still bigger. And it still is going to draw people attention, and it's still going to get people excited. And one thing that happens is when new hardware comes around, they were like, oh, I can't wait for new hardware. When am I going to play? And it's those established franchises with those big fan bases that's going to draw the most attention to those consoles. So,
I just feel like the PlayStation fan base, like if you're a Sony guy and you got your PS Plus, you got a big library, I just can't see them being persuaded over because of Halo. If they didn't buy Halo 5 and get an Xbox for Halo 5, they're not going to do it for.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Guess what, Blaze? We said the same thing last generation, and what happened?
What was the same?
It was the same. I didn't see nobody leaving Xbox and going to PS4, but they did it,
bro. Because Xbox was literally shooting themselves in the feet, bro, the whole time.
Okay, and I'm telling you, the same thing can happen.
Xbox, all they had to do was come out with a normal console, talk games, and they would have been all right. But they did the complete opposite. They literally killed themselves, dude. Xbox had the momentum. I feel like
you're right, and Sony could come out and do the same thing. We've seen this flip flop like 3 times already.
They learned their mistake, bro. When
Microsoft obviously learned from their mistake too. Right. They're launching their system with Halo at the holiday season.
Do you remember?
So they know what they're doing.
PlayStation said the PS3, the next generation, don't start until we were like, wow, you're really that arrogant. And I don't want that, Sony. As much as I like that shit, and I'm like, I know they're God and I pray to them, I don't want that. I want them to come out humble and put out good games. That's it.
Well, I'm just hoping they do it because 2020 is stacked from the beginning all the way to the end. And
yeah, I don't think was 2020. E3 was all about 2020.
I don't think they can hold The Last of Us 2 all the way to 2020 in the holiday season next year. I don't think that's going to happen. So they're gonna have to have something else come out and help them. You know,
still
maybe Uncharted
too.
Yeah, maybe Uncharted will make its surprise return or something like that. I think that's the only thing they can really combat with Xbox releasing Halo is Uncharted.
Maybe another Killzone.
Hell, oh my God, don't even start on that. Killzone is garbage.
Here's the thing about Xbox though. After Halo, then what? What's going to be next? You know,
that's a good question.
Right, and another Forza.
It's up to them to prove what else they got after that point. So, but the thing is, you're going to get people in the door. I mean, we've seen this like so many times. Like when Nintendo launched with Zelda on the Wii took off. When they launched with Zelda on the Switch took off. But it's on for you to show me what I'm going to do afterwards. And Nintendo has been able to do that with the Switch so far. So it's up to them. You just got to get them in the door first. And those big titles will get those people in the door. So,
you know what? You just... I'm sitting here thinking, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, damn, this new Xbox console is launching with the new Halo. Man, I ain't going to be able to resist. This is what I'm thinking because I've always been an Xbox guy. And it's like, you got a PC that can play Halo, but it's like, yeah, but, you know, I like the console experience. My son's going to be on the Xbox. Man, I feel like I'm going to day one this. And then Erica says, after Halo, then what? And boom, that just hit me, man. It's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know, that Xbox has fallen so far that after Halo, boom, we don't know what the hell we're getting. and you just had an E3 to show something, and you showed me nothing.
Well, I think y'all can pump y'all brakes on that just a little bit because that's holiday next year. So if they come out E3 next year and we already know Halo's going to be there day one, if they don't follow it up and say, okay, this is the release window titles, then that can start concerning you. I think we're a little bit too early to say that.
Yeah, Rev, you're definitely buying. You're gonna buy the Rev. You're gonna buy the new Xbox. That's a fact. But the other thing is, like, they're holding off. Maybe, like Baron said, it's 2020. Maybe they're just holding. You know, they're gonna have a next gen Forza. It's happening. Sorry, Motorsports. It's gonna be.
Yeah, but how much better can Forza look? Forza already looks photorealistic.
Man. It really does, man.
You know what I mean? Forza looks amazing. And dude, on the PC, I hate to be that guy on the PC. It's 60 FPS. Forza Horizon 4, dude, it can't get any better. That game is phenomenal, appearance-wise.
It really is, bro. You seen that video I put?
I did. It looks amazing. So I don't see me getting a more powerful console for a car game.
But Rev, you can't resist. We do this, Rev. You're gonna end up buying it. You just gotta accept that. You know it. You're a console guy.
Yeah, but I'm a retard when it comes to buying consoles, man.
You're gonna buy it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. You're gonna buy it. I'll bet, dude. I will delete my channel if you don't buy it.
Well, now I'm gonna buy it just so you don't delete your channel. I'm just playing, man.
Shit.
Vic, are you dead?
No, man. I mean, it's like 145 degrees in my house right now.
Damn.
No, it's legit over 100 degrees over here.
Vic, you buying a next gen console or what?
I am, but this is what I was trying to get in, but you guys were going back and forth, so I let it roll. The only way the Xbox can come out strong in the next gen, next holiday 2020, is even with the help of the next Halo. If they launch at the same price point, they will not compete, in my opinion. Just because there's nothing that Xbox has shown that's going to take away from the PlayStation's established user base already. Like, nothing that I saw in this E3 is going to make me be like, yeah, I should buy the Xbox instead of the PlayStation. They have an established base that's naturally just going to progress over to the PS5. So unless PlayStation launches like at $100 more, it's going to be hard for them to compete out the gate. PlayStation would have to make a really big mistake like Xbox did, launching $100 more expensive because of a peripheral that was required. I don't see PlayStation making that mistake again, launching at a higher price point, because they did it with the PS3.
But that goes both ways, though.
How so? If they launch at the same price point? I don't see
how, if it's the same price point and basically there's no big title for the PS5. You know what I mean? And but the big title is Halo. Why do you think people from PS4 just going to migrate to the PS5? Like, I just don't understand why y'all believe that. It's just going to happen.
Because of what they're preaching, which is backwards compatibility, which makes that transition way easier. The people that own strictly a PlayStation now never made the switch over Halo Guardians. What's the difference with Halo Infinite?
But why would people spend more money to make a transition if they're already getting the same game on the PS4? They're not going to do that.
So you're saying they're going to just stay on the PS4?
I think they're going to, if it's not a big exclusive PS5 title, they are just going to stay on the PS4.
So you're saying
we have seen this happen.
So you're saying the people that established their library with PS4, if they did move over to the next gen, it's more likely that they'll move over to the Xbox than the next PlayStation.
Rick, that's what I just was saying. Yep.
That's what you're saying.
No, that can happen. I'm not gonna rule that out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's no reason to go to PS5 if there's nothing exclusive there for me to play if I have a PS4.
But
I might as well just stay on my PS4.
Though. Okay, so you said that this happened this gen with a lot of people from the Xbox user base coming over to PlayStation user base, right? That's what you said. What did that had nothing to do with exclusives. Nobody came over for Uncharted. They came over because the PlayStation was $100 cheaper.
Yes, but you just said they lost at the same price point. So if the price is flat the same, PS4, PS5, no exclusive content, just the same thing you got on PS4. Next Xbox exclusive Halo, basically for the next gen system. Why do you think they're going to migrate over? I don't get it. There's
Because
no incentive to migrate over. There's no incentive.
Because I don't see the people who are ingrained in the PlayStation ecosystem jumping over to Xbox to play Halo.
I'm not saying they're going to do that. I'm saying they're just going to stay where they're at until there's incentive to move.
Well, why would the Xbox guys jump to the next Xbox when they just play Halo on Xbox?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't even know if that game is going to be on the regular Xbox.
It will. It will be.
It will be. There's no way they can't. They
wouldn't even answer that question.
Yeah, they want you to play everywhere.
You're gonna be able to play that shit on your cell phone.
Yeah.
But I just don't think if they launch at the same price point, Sony will continue to do better just off the install base alone. The only way Sony can mess up is if they launch at a higher price point. That's the only thing that will make Xbox perform better out the gate. Price point always dictates the market. Like last podcast, we talked about the 360 and PS4 and who sold more. What we didn't talk about, which I'm surprised you didn't, is they both got really shit on by the Wii, right? And the Wii was only super popular because it was a very easy barrier to entry. It was very cheap, and everybody wanted one. The market's always dictated by price. So unless the PlayStation prices themselves out of the market, they're not going to lose any ground to Xbox, no matter if they launch with Halo or not. Because if we're being honest, ever since Bungie left Halo, that the sales of those games have not been great, right? You're looking at this is established franchises like Halo, and you look at a new IP like Horizon, which just murdered it. So you can't bank on that being your system seller. It doesn't have the same weight it did the first two.
That's true. You know what, Vic? How's this?
Think so.
Baron, all they got to do is release Bloodborne 2, and it's a wrap. Number one, I forgot about that.
I think that can be a significant title. I'm not going to say that.
It is.
But you got to take in the fact that you can't diss Halo like that. Look what happened with God of War.
I'm not dissing.
I mean,
that was one of my favorite games at E3. But
I'm saying you can't dismiss it for his.
No, we're not. We're not.
His franchise power. I mean, look at God of War. I mean, it went straight downhill after 3, but then they came back with this one, and what happened? I think it's the best, fastest selling one ever. So you really can't say that. Oh, just because
okay,
because Horizon sold more, that doesn't change it. Doesn't change the fact.
I just think if you look at the install, just from a business perspective, they're getting outsold essentially 2-1. Mm-hmm. To make up that much ground, Halo Infinite's gonna have to be the best game you ever seen. That's just what it is, but it's gonna have to revolutionize gaming the way the first Halo did. So unless it does that, or Sony launches at a crazy price point, they're not catching up. It's not gonna happen.
All right, I'm glad y'all really feel that.
And Rev, to switch
we've
paces,
seen this so long.
What do you think of the Elite controller?
Ugh.
No batteries for the first time. Congratulations, Microsoft. You're not.
I got an Elite controller. You know what it's called? The keyboard and mouse.
Ooh,
and it's way better than the Elite controller.
Yeah, you went
trying to tell
PC,
you, dude. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, this keyboard and mouse, this is some next level shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, I talked a lot of shit on it for a lot of years, dude. This renders a controller completely and totally irrelevant. And I know you guys are probably rolling your eyes. I'm trying to tell you, this is like an evolution, and it's been around longer than the controller, from what I understand.
How are the dead zones?
Dude, it's instantaneous.
I agree. It's
instantaneous.
You would have never played The Witcher, or now you would never play a single player game with a keyboard and mouse. I just can't see you doing it with a shooter. Absolutely, all day. But think of a Witcher 3 with a keyboard.
Yeah, I still prefer a controller for that. But
okay.
You talking Halo, dude? Give me a damn keyboard and mouse any day of the week.
Right,
any day of the week.
I can't believe this is coming out your mouth, bro. I really can't.
I want to touch on what Baron was talking about. What about all the burned Xbox fans, man? Like yours truly here. I've been an Xbox fan for forever, since the Xbox came out. I bought an Xbox One X day one. I love the X. I just gave it away. I gave it away.
I got you, Rev. But the thing is, when people are fans like that, they tend to let the company seek redemption. Like a lot of us
with Halo.
I think Erica can speak for this. A lot of us obviously wasn't too happy with the Wii U when it came from Nintendo. but they redeemed themselves in 10 times fold over with the Switch. Switch has been our wildest dream, and they have benefit, of that by the way the Switch is selling. So you can always redeem yourself. It ain't like, oh, the last Halo wasn't up to my liking. Oh, fuck Halo forever. If this turns out and people look at it and it's like the Halo of their dreams and this is what I wanted, they're going to come back. I mean, we've seen this over and over again. I think God of War is a perfect example of that. Like,
but the difference is, Baron, like on the Switch, I'll even say this, on the PS4, on the Switch, you can't play those games anywhere else but the PS4 and the Switch. The difference is, you know what I mean? This new console coming out, and it might be powerful, might be beautiful, all that. But if you can play it on your Xbox One or your Xbox One X or your PC or your cell phone, there's no incentive for me to go get it just because of power.
Here's the thing.
No, there ain't.
Here's the thing. I'm going us based off that Halo Infinite is only going to be for Scarlett because they gave no insinuation.
Way,
definitely
No.
No way.
I had there was no insinuation that it was going to be for the regular Xbox.
Their whole conference was about how you can play all their first party games anywhere.
Yeah, through Project xCloud. Now I don't know how successful that's going to be. The first footage I've seen of it doesn't look too hot, just like Stadia. So I don't think that's going to take off. You know what I mean? So
I'm just saying,
I don't think it's going to take off.
You don't think it'll be on the X?
I don't see it.
Wait, what are you
Baron, what?
Halo Infinite. I don't see
it. Can run on the X.
Erica, do you hear this man?
I don't see them doing that. That's what I'm saying. I don't see them doing that.
This is why that makes no sense. Do you really think they're not going to sell one of their heaviest hitting games to their biggest existing install bases? Why would they make it an exclusive to a console that they haven't sold yet?
Right, and don't forget they showed off Halo Infinite on the X release. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't.
They showed off Halo Infinite.
You can't take
this is the first time they showed it off.
No, they didn't.
That was a teaser.
It don't matter. Why would you show a teaser? Why would you show a teaser on a press conference for that nobody knows what Scarlett is at that time? Why would they show a teaser for it?
Why would you come to E3 and dedicate the whole Halo Infinite demo based off of Scarlett?
No,
I didn't get that impression.
I think you're way off.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Halo said now we're going to look at Halo on Scarlett.
Halo Infinite's going to be running at 720p 22 frames on the base Xbox One when it comes
out. But it'll be on it. It'll be on it.
It's going to be everywhere. You can't, just from a business perspective, you can't just ignore that install base and be like, no, we're not selling it to you guys. That would be a horrible move.
Yeah.
Is that install base even really that big?
Especially where they're trying to give the game out everywhere, every platform. There's no reason.
Definitely bigger than the base they haven't established for the console that's going to release at the same exact time. That's all I'm saying. That there's no way.
We'll see.
Xbox, their whole philosophy.
The way they was talking, it didn't seem that way.
The whole E3 and even beyond E3, it's all about their services, Game Pass. And these games being everywhere. There's no way.
True.
Halo is not going to be on.
They said that. Yeah. But I think that all depends on how successful this xCloud is. Like, I think that's all depends on that.
I'm hearing it's running like trash, but I don't know.
Like I don't predict the future, people. Like, y'all just assuming the xCloud is going to be a hit. It's going to take up. No, I'm not consuming nothing. Like it's either I'm just going to go by what I'm just going to go off of what they say. That's all I'm going off of. Like
all I'm saying
you say y'all too much. A lot of times y'all say this. Y'all I ain't saying that shit. That's
about games.
Oh man.
I think they just threw that in there, like, oh, Halo, by the way, it's coming out the same day as this console, so you can get hyped about buying a new console. I don't think it's like exclusive.
I think it'll be everywhere. All they did was preach accessibility on all platforms. They're not gonna alienate that install base. There's no way. And if Nintendo can get Witcher on the Switch, they can get Infinite on the Xbox One.
You ain't lying.
Hey, we don't know nothing about Infinite, so.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's close it out with this question. I'm going to go around the room. We're going to start with Erica. Erica, come release, if they launch at the same time, Sony, you're going to go with the PS5, you're going to go with the Xbox Scarlett.
Definitely PS5. I'm not a Halo fan. Maybe if I was, I'd feel different. And once I see the console, maybe it blow my mind. I don't know. But no, it's definitely PS5 first. And then maybe in the future, an Xbox. Or I'll just play on PC because that's where everything's going to be.
And you have a PC? What kind of PC you have, out of curiosity? I want to make sure mine's better.
Tell you, I'm so bad with PC. I know it's got like an i5. It's really basic.
What about your GPU?
Yeah, what's your graphics card?
1060.
Okay, mine's better. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
nothing special.
Go ahead, Vic.
Same time, definitely PlayStation, just based on the catalog.
Okay. Blaze? Oh, Baron?
What was the question?
I get both, man, honestly.
They come out same time. You getting the PS5, you getting the Xbox Scarlet. Yeah, this was a stupid question.
Probably neither.
Really?
Like,
So
I don't care for Halo, but I'm not stupid to their fan base though. But Halo doesn't do it for me. So.
Okay. Blaze, go ahead and answer.
I mean, you're
gonna buy them both day one?
If I could, yeah. If I have to choose, I mean, I'm never gonna go against God. But if I can get them both, I would.
Okay. All right.
This is just me assuming that this really nothing major. If they because Halo doesn't do nothing for me, but if they say, we're launching with Killzone and we're basing it off of Killzone 2, that might get me because I love me some Killzone 2. That was my game. But other than that, I probably won't do anything. I probably won't buy either.
Erica, your PC is not bad in standard. Rev, you got a good PC. You dumped $1,000 into it. Okay?
More than that when you count the SSDs I just bought.
Everything.
I spent $400 on SSDs.
You bought 3 mouses and all this shit. What I'm saying,
I got 3 mouses, good ones too.
Okay, so in my PC, right, a 2080 Ti, like, what is the sense of buying this console? There
is no sense in buying it, but I'm still gonna buy it because I'm retarded, and we've talked about this many times. I'm burned right now. Look, I don't want to buy the new Xbox, but you guys said it, even you guys in the chat, you know me. I'm gonna see it. It's gonna be sitting on the shelf. It's gonna be shining. Master Chief's helmet's gonna be sparkling, and I'm gonna say, you know what? I got to get this shit.
And you know it. And
then I'll make like 10 videos bitching about how shitty it is. You know how it goes.
And Rev, that's probably what a lot of people are going to do. And those people that are going to do it don't have the access to the PC either. So
yeah.
Rev, even if Halo came to Steam.
And that's where that's Erica. That's where I'm going to be playing it. That's where I'm going to be playing it. Master Chief Collection is getting purchased day one on Steam. Now, listen, if they launch at the same time, Erica, I'm owning them both. I'm not saying I'd pick the Xbox. If I had to choose, and like Baron said, PlayStation's not releasing with like any exclusive. If they launch with Ghosts of Tsushima, I'd get the PS5. But if it launched with Death Stranding or Last of Us 2, I'll pick the Xbox over it. But they launch the same time, I'm getting them both.
Damn.
So like a week, 2 weeks apart?
Same day, I'm getting them both.
Okay, you'd get both, no matter 2 weeks apart. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you would. You've always been that way.
I think that's just that's going to be a cluttered time when it comes to games, though.
I agree.
It's going to be cluttered.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be so much quality stuff.
I need newness, so I'm over here starved. So I'm not going to be able to say no to a new console.
Yeah, there ain't shit. Yeah. It's true. It's dry over here, man.
I'm going to want to see how Master Chief or how the game performs on the Xbox and then compare it against my PC. You know how it goes.
Dude, me and Rev will buy the same game just to see what it looks and how it performs. Even though we own it on PC, it's crazy. It's something cool. I don't know. It's just interesting to see how it performs.
Dude, I have like 60 games on three platforms.
You are the worst person when it comes to buying the game on multiple. Like, you'll have Call of Duty on every platform to see how it runs. Red Dead. You did that with Red Dead at launch. You do that a lot.
A lot. That's what I'm saying. I got like 60 titles. I was going to do a video on this on all 3 platforms. Do you understand that?
That's crazy. Dude.
Like 60 games on all 3. I should be Digital Foundry over here.
You should. Dude.
That's terrible, Rev.
Yeah, I know, man. I know.
The game, Rev, where you spent like hundreds of dollars. What was that again?
That was the Division 2. I upgraded my PC strictly because I wasn't happy with the performance.
Tell them what happened, Rev.
Division 2.
I was shooting these plants, Erica. There was like a bunch of trees and plants, and it was all these leaf particles or flying herbs. He's like, and I'm like, yo, this is awesome. He's like, dude, stop. His frame rate dropped to 0. And
he crashed my PC almost.
So, dude, what he did, he's like, dude, I'm not ever going through this again. From that day, he just went crazy.
Yeah. It's all right, though. I don't regret it. All right. That's 2 hours and 5 minutes, people. Damn. I thought we were only going to do like an hour and a half here.
It always ends up stretching.
Hey, yeah. You know.
It went by kind of fast, though. All right. Let's do the outros here. Erica, go ahead.
Yeah, it was a good time. Towards the end, I was kind of drifting a little bit of this console talk. It's like, man, that's over a year away, so it's kind of hard to think about. It's kind of hard to think about for me, but thanks for having me. If you guys are new, you don't know me, you're listening to this, I go by Ericuts for the Win on YouTube and Twitch, Twitter, and then I also am on Press Start Podcast, which is every Thursday at 5:30 Pacific. So if you want to catch more of me, can do it there. But yeah, Rev, all of you, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Hey, you may as well just ditch them scrubs and just be a permanent on there. You know what I mean?
Oh, damn.
Oh, my God.
Just putting it out there. We're bi-weekly, Erica. Not a big deal. Go ahead, Baron.
Y'all know where to find me. It's your local Nintendo guide. I'm gonna get on y'all nerves for a long time because Nintendo probably has a game of the year of 2019, 2020, and 2021. So I'm gonna get on your nerves for a long time.
Blaze.
Yeah, just ignore what that last guy just said. Yeah, it was a great podcast. Erica, we appreciate you coming through. Sorry if I jumped and talked over you because I do that a lot. But yeah, it was a good cast. I like talking next gen. It excites me. Vic, Rev, Baron, you're all right, bro. I ain't got no problem with you.
All right, everybody in the chat, I appreciate you coming out and watching. Everybody on the cast, appreciate it. Erica, always nice hearing your lovely voice. Everybody else, I'm gonna have links to everybody's channel in the description. If you give me about 15 minutes, I'll update the video. And again, I appreciate your support. I will holler at you guys later.
Baby.